Odin is alive. Yes, Odin is alive. Remember when we go to Muspelheim to find Surtur? Remember when Kratos says this?
This feels too easy. Odin knows we have Gjallarhorn. He knows you have the mask. After killing Brock, he knows we would seek Surtur to start this war.
Kratos tells Atreus to go hide Mimir, right? Listen. So he tells Atreus to hide Mimir. Atreus goes in the house and hides Mimir. Okay, Thor comes in. Two ravens come in behind him, right? Now, when the two ravens come in behind Thor, notice that those two ravens go to a specific spot. Now, your first time playing, you're not going to notice this, but those two ravens went to the exact spot where Atreus hid Mimir, right? Okay, cool. When Odin knocks on the door and we open it, he holds his arms out. The two ravens fly inside of his arms, right? All right. Check this out, bro. Remember when Thor pours a drink for Kratos and Atreus? And we know he was pouring one for Atreus and Kratos because he says this.
You could have told me before I poured.
More on that in a minute, though, right? So we see these two ravens, and we notice that they fly inside of Odin's arms, right? Now, when Atreus, after he's considering going to Asgard, and he ends up in Midgard, right? You hear a raven, right, guiding him, and he ends up at Charlie's. He'll knock at the window, and it's, of course, Odin's raven, right? And Atreus says,
I think he's here for me.
all right, now that raven brings Atreus to Asgard. We see that raven, Hugin, he flies and guides Atreus up the wall. Odin shows up, right? But notice something else, though. Once Odin shows up, we see how Odin gets there, and it's through what? The raven. After we finish the game and we see the Asgardian prison, Odin has imprisoned a dark elf, a traveler, but above all, he's imprisoned who? You got it, Tyr. So we find out that he imprisoned Tyr and kept Tyr alive just so he could shapeshift into him. So at first, it never hit me until I thought about my own previous video. I was like, bro, wait a minute. When we see the Jotunheim mural, why the hell is the real Mimir in a tree still? And then we see the Ironwood mural, and Mimir is still in the tree.
Why not kill them?
He must need them alive in order to assume their form.
And that's when it hit me, bro. Dude, Odin is still alive. He disguised himself as Tyr, and he disguised himself as Mimir. That is why that raven knew exactly where to go. And that's why the real Mimir is on a tree, imprisoned. And that is why at the end of the game, Atreus says this.
Huh. Hugin made it out. Good for him.
And that is exactly why Kratos said this.
This feels too easy. Odin knows we have Gjallarhorn.
When we see these ravens fly into his arms, that is a clear sign that he is his ravens and his ravens are him. They are one. That's why that one raven that made it out was indeed and is indeed Odin, bro. Look, you see Mimir, right? The head, Mimir imprisoned. And you see the two ravens, right? That to me is a clear indication that Mimir and those ravens are exactly like Odin using his magics and showing you. So when we see that the real Mimir is imprisoned, we can go back and be like, damn, look, it was all about the raven escaping, and it's all about the raven using Odin's magics, him casting himself, however he does it, as the raven, as Mimir, the same way he does himself as Tyr. And before you even say, well, this image of Mimir in the tree is from the part of the norms. The part of the norms, in my opinion, was just an illusion. I mean, Kratos says this was all an illusion. The door wasn't even there.
I see the door has disappeared.
Or it was never there.
Bruh.
They toy with us still.
Man, when I told you guys that he was Mimir in disguise, half of you didn't believe me. Some of you did, but most of you didn't believe me. Like 70% of you said I was crazy. Said Santa Monica would never do that. They would never disguise Odin as another person, blah, 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 this, and that. It would be too cheesy. Freya would recognize him, and why didn't Freya recognize him, and this, and that, this, that. Now that they pulled it off with Tyr, all of a sudden, everyone's forgot about what they said about my video. Like, Freya didn't recognize him. Like the game tells you, his magic is so much stronger than Freya's, right? I'm telling you again, he's using his magics just like he uses his 2 ravens. One of them he uses to cast himself in disguise as Tyr. The next one he is using to cast and disguise himself as Mimir. You think of this as a conscious subconscious. I don't know how Odin is doing it. I don't know how they put souls inside of snakes. I don't know how giants chase the moon. But I do know this. This is a world full of magics. And I do know that Odin is the All-Father. And we are underestimating him too much. Guys, you got to remember, Odin's seen this mural. He's seen the 2018 mural. I already told you guys when he went to Jotunheim to offer peace, he seen the mural. So he already saw he was going to die in the arms of Loki. He knew that his physical form right here would die in the arms of Loki. He knew that. And he lets that happen. He actually lets it happen. And another thing, bro, that even gets me even more, dude, is that when you go to the Fates, they say...
Kratos, Freya, and Mimir's head. Enter the home of the Norns.
Man, did you hear that? Kratos, Freya, and Mimir's head? What? Mimir's head? Dude, it's just his... Bruh, we just think Odin was just that easy. Like, man, come on, bro. No, that's not actually Mimir. That's just Mimir's head. It's Odin. It's using his magics, casting himself as Mimir. Now, of course, the norms aren't going to say Odin disguised as Mimir's head. They're not going to say that. The writers aren't going to let them say that. Like, come on, bro. They wouldn't give that up. But they're showing you in the game, if you just pay attention. There's no way that those Ravens would have knew to go to Mimir's hidden head if it wasn't Odin, bro. Here's another thing that's really going to trip y'all out. Now, you can say I'm looking too much into this. I'll give you that. But that's just how big of a fan I am, dude. Check this out, bro. When Odin says, I know you're in here, come on out or whatever, notice that when Mimir speaks, they show you Odin's mouth is closed, but it's actually moving. They're showing you his mouth, and he's actually saying what Mimir is saying, but not in that form. So when he says,
that's right, I know you're in here somewhere, you silver-tongued little shit.
Why should we believe a word of you? What
did you see that?
Promises
it's like,
ever been what?
He says it, then he closes his mouth, and he says it again, but in Mimir's form, in that disguised form. So he's saying it, you know what I'm saying? But we don't see it until we will see it. Like when we play another game and we find the real Mimir in prison, we'll come back to this scene and be like, damn, it was there the whole time. The same way we are doing with Tyr. So again, guys, like, watch Odin. He's going to speak in his Odin form, then he's going to speak again in his Mimir form. And watch when he speaks in his Mimir form, you can tell that he's the one saying it. That's why they show it the way they show. You see the camera, you look at his mouth, and you can see that he's actually like, you know, like grinding his teeth as his like jawbones are moving as he's saying what he's saying. Like, look.
Why should we believe a word of you? What have your promises ever been what?
I mean, bro, just look, bro, look at his body language, dude. Like, when he says, why should we believe a word out of you? Like, whenever he says you, look at his body language.
Why should we believe a word out of you?
It's like he's saying it. You know what I'm saying? It's like telepathically how he's doing it. You know what I mean? And this is all possible because of the magics and him being the All-Father. That's why those ravens are so important, man. And that's why they show them over there while Mimir is hidden, while they are over there just pecking while he is hidden. That's, if you notice too, bro, I watched Eric's interview, and he said if you go back, you can see Tyr's in where we found the fake Tyr at. You can see Odin's raven's feathers in the floor. That just gives me more, bro. Like, him and his ravens are one. Also, guys, remember when I told you to take a look and remember Thor pouring Atreus and Kratos a drink, right? Now, how is it that Thor knows that Kratos lets Atreus drink? Well, I'll tell you how. And it's because of this scene right here.
The journey's end.
Really?
Now, who is right here watching this? Exactly. He is right here watching it all, bro. Odin is right here watching it all. So he tells Thor to go in there and pour him a drink or whatever. We already know that he lets the kid drink. And another thing, he doesn't only send Thor in there to get Kratos out of the house so he can talk to Atreus. He also uses this moment to sell the illusion. You understand what I'm saying? He's selling the illusion, bro. Like, guys, the undercover cop is not going to reveal himself until the bust happens, bro. So that undercover cop is going to smoke, drink, shoot, sell, he's going to do everything criminal until it's time to make the arrest. So that's why Odin is so good at what he's doing, bro. Like, bro, this guy is perfect, man. Remember, guys, when we learned that Faye told young Atreus to never go into the temple? Remember in the 2018 game, this moment happens when he's shooting and hunting the deer, and he says he went into the old temple, but Mom told me never to go in there. And Kratos is like, we do what we please or whatever, right? So I got a video already coming, going to tell you, in my opinion, why I believe Faye told him not to go into that temple. But anyway, when we find out what's in the temple, right, and we see that Tyr is imprisoned, who is the person that motivates Kratos to go find Tyr? Mimir. And who is the person that tells us to go to Svartalfheim to find Tyr? Mimir. Because Kratos says,
Enough.
Wait.
We are going home. Could the prison be in Muspelheim?
Unlikely. Sounds like a mine, aye.
you see what I mean? And then on the way back, Mimir's like,
Brother, he's going to walk his own path. If you don't want him walking away from you, then smarten up and walk with him a while.
man, I love talking to you guys about this game, bro. That's why you will never catch me throwing you guys out of my live chats for using lock caps. I will never block you for nothing you say in the comments. I am never going to be above this fandom, bro. Not at all, Jack. So you can say whatever you want to say. I'm never going to block you for nothing, bro. Now, if you two, like, take your comment away, ain't nothing I can do about that. But I stand on the First Amendment straight up. Even if you ain't American shit, I still rock heavy with that, bro. All right, man. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.
That's right.